Why would somebody be an atheist? Why would somebody choose a belief system that declares there is no creator of this universe? Atheists are taking a position about something. An agnostic is someone who says, I don't know whether there's a God or not. But an atheist is different. An atheist declares that God does not exist. The atheist declares that he or she knows. That's the implication. They know that God does not exist. And what I want to examine is what is the basis of this knowledge? What is the basis of this claim? When an atheist is claiming that God does not exist, or they know that God exists, or they are convinced that God does not exist, what leads them, what makes them adopt this claim? What makes them take this position? That most people who are atheists are not atheists because their belief is rational. No. Atheists have somehow managed to convince many people that atheism is a type of rational choice. It's the default position of the scientist and the academic and the intellectual. So a lot of people today imagine that most scientists are atheists. And this alone, just this, makes people sit up and take the claim of atheism seriously. That their claim to be rational and intellectual is by and large a false claim. I would conclude, and Hamza has concluded, that most atheists are atheists because of emotional reasons, not because of rational reasons. Two most obvious reasons for a person to be an atheist, and there are other reasons, but the two most apparent reasons for a person to be an atheist is, number one, the person feels that God has let them down. And this is what both me and my colleague Hamza, through experience, we have found, that a lot of people, and this is often people who are formerly religious, become atheists because they feel that God has let them down. I used to pray, they would say. I used to be religious. I used to believe in God. But then such and such thing happened to me in my life. Such and such difficulty came to me in my life. How could God do that to me? How could God sit there and let me face this difficulty? He should have rescued me. He should have saved me. He should have taken me away from this. In other words, they experience some difficulty in their life, and they feel that, perhaps they feel they are so special that God should have looked after them. And this itself, of course, comes from a wrong concept of God and a wrong concept of our relationship with God. As we Muslims know, life is a test. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran,
الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. الذي
خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. In the Quran, the Creator, Allah, the Creator, is telling us that I have created life and I have created death. I have created death. الذي خلق الموت. I have not created death and life except to test, except to see which of you is best in conduct. And He is Aziz, He is the mighty, and He is Ghafoor, He is the forgiving. So life is a test. The nature of the test is that there will be hardship and there will be ease. There will be difficulties, there will be hardships, there will be illnesses, there will be sicknesses. Indeed, in the Quran, Allah is telling us, do you think that I would leave you saying you believe without testing you as we tested those who came before you? So we will be tested. And the fact that we claim to be believers in God does not mean we will stop being tested. No. In fact, we know from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Allah tests the ones He loves, and the ones He loves the most, He tests them the most.